we're at an incredibly important time in history, probably the most important time that humanity's ever faced, that we're in the middle of a huge crisis, huge planetary crisis with many different forms, and that really from an evolutionary perspective, this is a challenge to move on to a new level of organisation, that we've reached the stage where the sort of individual way we've been acting is no longer appropriate. We've been acting as individual units on this planet, and that's no longer appropriate. And what we need to do is begin to come together as a cooperative society, as one single system. And that is the next evolutionary step. That we think of evolution as people growing bigger brains or whatever, but the next evolutionary step on this planet is in fact society beginning to come together and work as a proper functioning system. And I think at the moment we're in the transition phase to that happening. If you look back at evolution, if you look back over the whole span of evolution, you see that there seems to be a pattern, which is, put very simply, units coming together to form more complex wholes, those wholes coming together to form more complex systems still. So you see elementary particles, electrons, protons coming together to form atoms, atoms come together to form molecules, molecules get more and more complex, so you get things like DNA, they then come together to form living cells, which become more complex over time, until you get multicellular organisms, simple ones like sponges, then building all the way up to human beings. And so you see the whole pattern of evolution has been one of things coming together, forming more complex systems. And that's a pattern which is held throughout evolution. And there's no reason to suppose it's going to stop now, which means the next logical stage in evolution would be human beings coming together to form a larger system. That doesn't mean coming together biologically. It doesn't mean everybody standing on Manhattan as one sort of mass of people. It means linking in terms of minds, coming together that way, because with human beings we have developed the ability to process and pass on information, both in time through books, videos, etc., and across space through telephones we can communicate. So what I see happening on the planet is a linking together of humanity into a system. And I think there's a lot of parallels between the way human beings are linking together in this planetary system and the way individual cells come together to form organisms, like the first multicellular organisms in the sea. There's a lot of parallels, and I think we're going through a similar process. Just as cells started linking together, beginning to work together, so we're seeing the same thing happening at the level of society.